All right, let's dive right into one of the oldest, most mind-bending puzzles in all of philosophy and physics, the paradox of beginnings. Stick with me because the answer we're going to explore might just change the way you look at, well, everything. I mean, really think about that for a second. Everything that happens has a cause, right? But then, what caused that cause? And what caused the cause before that? If you try to follow that chain of dominoes all the way back, you get stuck. You're in this logical trap with no beginning in sight. So how on earth did the whole show get started? For thousands of years, this problem has been called infinite regression, and it has seriously bugged some of the greatest thinkers in history. It basically suggests that our entire existence is floating on nothing, just this endless chain of causes stretching back forever and ever. And if that's true, a real first event seems totally impossible. Okay, so here's a fantastic way to picture the problem and the solution. The old paradox sees causality as a perfectly smooth, slippery ramp. To get to any spot on that ramp, you first have to cross a literally infinite number of points that came before it. You can never, ever take that first step. But what if reality isn't a ramp? What if it's a staircase? Now that's a different story. On a staircase, every single step is its own complete finished thing. It gives you a solid, finite place to stand before you take the next one. A first step isn't just possible, it's how you get started. This staircase idea actually has a name. It's called quantized causation. It's the concept that reality doesn't flow along smoothly like water. It jumps in these distinct, separate steps. Each cause isn't just some tiny point in time, but a whole stable state of being that acts as a launch pad for whatever comes next. And this staircase isn't just built randomly. No, it's created by this powerful three-step cycle that seems to be the fundamental engine of existence itself. So first, you have a stable state of order. Then that system pushes up against a limit. It just can't hold any more energy or information, and it breaks down into chaos. And then finally, out of that chaotic mess, a new, more complex, more evolved state of order emerges. This cycle, this is the staircase. This is the chain of causation. You know that middle step, that moment of pure chaos? It has a name that comes straight from physics. It's called a phase transition. You've seen this a million times. Think of ice melting into water. That ordered crystal structure of ice can only absorb so much heat energy. Then it hits its limit, breaks down, and becomes the chaotic state we call a liquid. So we're not just talking philosophy here. These jumps between the steps of the staircase are real, physical events. And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. This isn't just some neat little idea. The evidence we're seeing suggests that this order-chaos-order cycle is a universal law. It's happening at every single scale of reality you can imagine, from the unbelievably small to the truly cosmic. So let's zoom way in. Let's start at the smallest possible scale. Down in the weird and wonderful world of particle physics, this order-chaos-order cycle is happening all the time, literally creating the very stuff that makes up our world. Just picture a particle zipping around an accelerator, right? As scientists pump more and more energy into it, its speed gets closer and closer to the speed of light. That's its stable state of order. But it can't ever break that cosmic speed limit. So what happens to all that extra energy they keep pumping in? Well, the system hits its limit. It undergoes a phase transition. That energy, since it can't become more speed, transforms directly into mass, creating a brand new, heavier particle right out of the chaos. And how do we know this really works? Well, look at this. This is the amazing part. When scientists run simulations of collisions at the Large Hadron Collider using this exact phase transition principle, their predictions, what particles will pop into existence, and how often, match the actual real-world data from CERN with over 99% accuracy. I mean, come on, that's not a lucky guess. That's a model that is describing reality with incredible precision. Okay, so the cycle works for the tiniest things imaginable. Now let's pull the camera all the way back. I mean, all the way. What about the biggest thing of all? What about the beginning of everything? In this framework, the Big Bang wasn't an explosion in space. It was the ultimate phase transition. It was the moment that a state of pure, timeless, infinite potential, let's call it Epoch Zero, hit some kind of breaking point and was quenched, collapsing into the first finite, ordered state, which we call our universe. That was the very first step on the cosmic staircase. So this brings us to the final, and I think most profound, payoff of this entire idea. We started this whole journey with the problem of an infinite past. But this model doesn't just solve that paradox, it completely redefines what infinity even means. Let's look at our three-step cycle one more time, but let's really focus on that crucial middle step, that jump, that chaotic gap between one stable reality and the next.
And here it is. This is the core insight. Infinity isn't an endless chain of events stretching behind us. That's not the problem. It turns out it's the solution. Infinity is the boundless, timeless, creative potential that's packed inside the chaotic gap of every single phase transition. It is the raw material of creation, and we tap into it every time a system breaks down in order to build something new.
You see how this changes things? It means the universe isn't just a clockwork machine running down. It's constantly rebuilding and reinventing itself, one step up the staircase at a time, using the infinite potential it finds in those moments of breakdown. And that leaves us with one last, very big question. If existence really is this endless cycle of chaos birthing new order, what new reality is being born from the chaos we see all around us today?